Hi everyone, I'm making an art journal page today, and first of all I want to tell you the 10 names that won the giveaway. And while I'm doing that, well, first I'm going to start my page with gluing the white backing of a paper napkin, and it needs to dry, so that's what I'm going to do first. I'm using a paper napkin because I like the texture that it gets on the paper, and I also like how either spray or watercolors spread on top of it. So that's the beginning of my page. So I'll just glue it, and then I will move to the list of the names that won the giveaway. I'm using a white glue with water. It's 2/3 glue, 1/3 water, and that's what I'm usually using with paper napkins. White glue without water on paper napkins will tear them, so just going very quickly about it, spreading the glue. And I've also scrunched the paper napkin, so I will have more texture. Of course, if you don't like it, you don't have to. And I'm just placing it on my page. Just making sure it covers my page, but otherwise I'm going for wrinkles, so I'm also helping it along. And now I'm going on top of it again with glue, just to flatten the wrinkles, not get rid of them, just flatten it. And it also acts as a sealant on top. And use a soft flat brush so it will slide on top and not drag your paper napkin and tear it. I'm not too careful right now because this is just to give my page texture. And so I will use either sprays or watercolors to spread on top. I've already picked up some sprays. My sprays are made from gel food coloring with water, no measurements, just putting some drops of gel food coloring and water, and then I'm checking to see if it's vibrant enough. If not, I will add more of the gel food coloring. You can also make sprays from if you have brush powders, it's also another option. And you can do whatever I'm doing today also with watercolors. Okay, so finished with the glue, so we can move on to the giveaway. And this is going there. Okay, so I'm just in advance, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing as it should the names. First one, Annette Beneck. Second, Melissa Phillis. Minka's, the name was Acknims. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Pauline or Pauline, I don't know, Whitehead, Mrs. Alabama. Susan van Schuyver. I'm sorry if I don't know how to pronounce it. Joy Aloha. Mary Brown, the Crabby Crafter, Crafty Cris, I think it's Christina if I'm not mistaken, and Starwolf Laurie. And I need you to contact me to my email address, which is noitmyart@gmail.com, or through Facebook Messenger. I'm leaving all the details down below in the description box, and I will also put the list of the winners of the giveaway, just so if you missed something and not sure, so you can contact me with your address either to my email or through Messenger on Facebook. And please, please, please be quick about it, because I've already scheduled an appointment to the post office on Wednesday, and I want to send everything on Wednesday. And another thing, because of the situation here, there aren't a lot of flights, but mail still gets out. So, and even when everything is okay, like if it's to Australia, it can take up to 8 weeks to reach you, and US 6 weeks, it can be until 6 weeks, sometimes not, sometimes in 2 weeks, and it's getting to where it should be. But just so you will know. So okay, so these are the winners. I need for my page to dry before I'm doing anything to it, so I'll be back. Okay, so mostly dry. I'm going to start with the sprays just because it's faster. And I've got some blue and turquoise and magenta and yellow and orange. And I'm going to start with some blue. I put a towel here just to try and make less of a mess. I like this one better than the blue one. And I'm thinking I've also have my watercolors, because it will just give me more to play with, and also I can control a little bit more with the brush where everything goes. So I'm just gonna play with the colors and how they spread. I can also take again a spray bottle, and I can help this along if I feel that it's not spreading too well, so I can play with it and just use whatever feel more comfortable to you, if it's the sprays or if it's watercolors. I'm just looking to spread these colors on my page. All kind of shades of blue right now. Sometimes I don't like the directionality of the spray bottle, so I'm helping it along. Like so. I think I'll move on to the magenta. Something not good with it. Okay, never mind. Something went wrong with the spray. Don't know. So I'll take the magenta, or it's more like, I think it's called carmine color. I'm letting it mix. I don't care. I don't want a lot of it, I just want some puddles of this paint. And switching to the orange. Okay. I like how it spreads on the paper napkin. Moving on to yellow. Not so happy with the color. I was so looking forward for something more magenta, but never mind. This one's also interesting. just overlapping a little bit, so I will have some shades in between, and I'm thinking of adding a little bit more of the dark blue, at least here at the bottom, and let's help it a little bit to spread. Okay, now I'm happy. So this will take some time to dry, of course. Okay, just made too much here. Okay, good enough. That's it with the sprays, with the watercolor. And now I want to pick some interesting painty paper to work on top of this. Let's see. I'm going to go and look for some painty papers and I'll be back. Okay, so I decided against the painty paper. Instead, I've got some stamps, mostly with all kinds of text that I want to play with, and we'll see how it goes. I'm picking one of them. Mostly I want right now to go around the edges and stamp a little bit, and let's see how it goes. I've got Momento Tuxedo Black, and I'm just going to do it randomly. Not sure yet what I'm going for. It's mostly as I go. And I want it towards the edges. Let's see, I think I'll take it out of the acrylic block, just so I will have more detail. That's it. And I'm thinking this one looks more like a rectangle block, and I want something a little bit irregular shape, so I'm switching to another one. Just having fun with it. Here where my the spiral is, I need to take it out of the acrylic block. Maybe even let's stamp it like this. Who cares? Let's see. I've got a bunch of birds here on the balcony, and they sound like they have an amplifier. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just playing with the stamps. Okay, so now I've got this yellow acrylic paint that I want to stencil. I want some circles in the background, and again, I didn't want a perfect circle, so I took one of my stencils. This is just cut by hand from a page divider, and so I want to use these circles that, again, cut by hand. I didn't want perfect circles, so that's what I'm using. I'm taking a makeup brush, a makeup sponge, and again, going to do it quite randomly. Not sure how it will look. Maybe I will have to switch to white because this, no, good enough. White will pop too much, will be too much on the page. So I'm just going to do this. If I'll change my mind, I can always reach for a white paint and add on top. So I'm spreading some circles on the page, trying not to get my hand in the paint or the stencil, just so I will have all kinds I really want something random and not symmetrical, very free. So each time I'm picking another size of a circle and just spreading it. I also have a yellow Posca pen. Maybe later on I will use a Posca pen just to make more circles. I don't know. I don't even care that it smudges in several places. I have the yellow, just part of the fun. Okay, so I like it. Maybe now I can add some magenta with the Posca pen. Let's see. Maybe more circles. I don't know. Where do I want them? Again, not perfect circles, just spreading. And I also have the texture, so it's not perfect. I'm thinking of outlining some of the circles, and I'm also thinking about, at least with the yellow ones, I'm thinking of stamping inside with some text. Not sure yet. I'm deciding as I go. Still a little bit moist here, so it's giving me trouble. just spreading it around where I think it's needed. Otherwise it really doesn't matter. Okay, so let's see. I'm thinking I'm taking this pen, marker, whatever, and I'm going around the yellow circles very freely. Very wobbly line, not only because, well, I have texture here, but because I like how it looks. So, of course, if you like very symmetrical shapes, you can go that way. You don't have to do what I'm doing. Still wet here. Oof. Okay, now I'm thinking that I'm going to take a white gel roll pen and go around the magenta circles. It doesn't work so well on texture, but I'll do my best just to add a little bit of some kind of outlining. I'm not even sure yet about my focal point. I've changed my mind through working on this page several times, so I'm just looking to first finish my background before I'm deciding about my focal point. I thought about doing a feather, I thought about doing a tree, so all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to move along, and it seems that each time I'm on some wet spot on the page. Okay, I'm going to leave this be with the white because, as I said, it's still wet in several places. And now I want to add some text to the yellow circles. Well, let's take the stencil again, and I'm going to stamp through the stencil. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect or anything. Yeah. I am going to try and fit the right circle just so it would be inside the stamping, but otherwise it really doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this, the same thing over and over again on the yellow circles, and then I'll come back, hopefully with a decision about my focal point. I'll be back. Okay, so decided on this. This is one of my stencils, and I love branches and I love leaves, so sometimes that's my go-to. And I have some white acrylic paint and a little bit of green because I'm thinking maybe just a hint of green on the leaves. So I'm going to start stenciling. I'm taking a makeup sponge, dabbing into the white and just starting. Now I have texture on the page, so it will be a little bit more difficult, and also I have paint, so if I want it to be a complete white, I will have to work on it a little bit more than usual. Sometimes you need more than one layer. Depends on the outcome that you want. Right now I'm just doing the white. I'm thinking that afterwards I will add the hint of the green to the leaves. Right now I'm more concerned about the white having at least one layer on the page, and I'm gonna probably go around it afterwards with some marker just to give it more distinction, and also to connect it with the other elements on the page. I'll go and do some wobbly line like I like to do. I really like the texture. I don't know how much of it you can see, but in each element on the page it just adds to the whole that you have texture. Okay. Just going over. Okay, so taking a little bit of the green and just a little bit at one end of the leaves, I'm adding it, so just so I won't have one solid color and it would look flat. And if I don't like it, I can always go again and cover it with the white. So let's see, I'm still holding the stencil, just looking to see how it looks, and I really like it. And I'm thinking I need a little bit more white in several places. Especially here, because this is darker and it needs an added white. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Just going over the stem, and I'm thinking of just continuing the stem to the bottom, and I'm just moving the stencil just so it would be easier. Yeah, that's what I was going for. So that's good. Now I need a white, either Posca pen or other marker, just to connect the leaves to the stem. And let's see. And I also have this Uniball Signo. Now again, this might be a little bit difficult because of all the texture that I have here. Before I had any marker, white marker or gel roll or whatever, I used to use what do you call it, correction fluid, There are ones that have a small opening, so that's another way to go about it if you can't find good white markers or gel roll pens or whatever. Okay, almost done. Just because of the texture, it's a little bit more difficult. And now I'm going to take again this pen marker, whatever, and just going to go very loosely around the shapes. What can I say? That's how I like it. I'm not very concerned about going around every element here. I'm just adding it where I think it's needed, which is mostly the leaves, and a little bit under the stem. Again, if you like things that are precise, you do you and have fun with it. I just like the wobbly line. Almost done. And even now I still have places that feel wet on my page. That's the downside of using all that glue with a paper napkin. Yeah, oh, I like it. Now I want to put something here, some word. What am I going to to put here? Okay, I need to think about it and I'll come back. Okay, so went over my stash and decided on smile because this page just makes me smile, and the only thing I'm doing is just again adding a wobbly line on top around my word, and that's it for this page. I hope you liked it. I hope you'll try your hand at doing something like that and have fun. So just for the winner of the giveaway, don't forget to send me your address, please. So this is it. That's my page, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.